Greetings, young men. This is Principal Kafele. I'm down here in Florida, a town I'd never heard of. It's called Destin, Florida. Down here to speak to quite a few administrators, school administrators. But before I do, as you know, I always say I got a message for you. And that message comes in the form of a question. The question is, how do you utilize your time away from school? Once again, how do you utilize your time away from school? Let me say from the outset that every minute away from school counts. How you use those minutes away from school, they matter. Let's move on. I'm saying to you young men that when you're in school, obviously that's an important time of the day. That's the time that you're in the classroom with your teachers and with all the other stakeholders in the school, and you're gaining new information. You're learning new things. You're preparing yourself to move to the next level. But then when you're out of school, what are you doing? How are you taking that which you learned in school to another level? In other words, that time away from school, you've got to do a number of different things. Number one, you got to read. You got to read on a regular basis. You got to read books. You got to read magazines. You got to read the newspaper. You got to go on the internet and you got to gain information. You've got to gain as much information as you can. But you might ask the question, what kind of information, Principal Kafele? I'm saying information that's going to help you to be able to live your life one day on your terms, or said differently, being able to maximize your potential. But those individuals that don't spend the time developing this, gaining information, getting a deeper understanding, gaining new insight on something, reading, studying, researching, then those folks, they just kind of remain stagnant. They don't grow. They don't develop. They don't maximize their potential. They certainly don't live their lives on their terms. They're just kind of stringing days together and just trying to make ends meet. But I'm saying those who go beyond formal education, those who go above and beyond, and they do their own independent studying, their own independent research. They're reading the books, they're reading the newspaper, they're reading the magazine, they're doing the research, they're doing the study on the internet. They're talking to other people who have information, they're interacting, they're networking. They're just focused on expanding their knowledge base, expanding on their horizons. Those are the people who are successful in this world. However we define success. Because I'm not going to give you a definition of success outside of the ability to live one's life on one's own terms. But I will say that you don't want to stay where you are, no matter where it is that you are right now. You want to make sure that you are growing, you are growing, you are growing, you are growing. I've been doing these videos, Message to Your Son, for 3 years now. I am not the same person I was when I started these videos. I'm a different person. I mean, I'm still me, but I've grown. I know so much more now than I did when I first launched these videos. I've gained so much more information. I've exposed myself to so much more of the world in terms of just learning new things from new people and exposing myself to material and information and resources that enable me to grow and grow and grow. So I'm saying to you, your time away from school, don't devote it or don't confine it to things recreational. Don't confine it or devote it to being on the phone and listening to the music, to watching the TV, to going to the movies and hanging out with friends and all that other recreational stuff. It has its place, but it can't monopolize your time. You've got to make sure that you spend your time devoted to your own intellectual growth and development so that you can one day live the life that you were destined to live in the first place. But it's not going to happen if you don't use your minutes wisely. Enough said, young men. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen. This is Principal Kafele. Thanks for listening. Time for me to go change my clothes and speak. Peace.